If the stars were made to worship, so will I. Welcome to your reading of Musings of a Christian Physician on the Physical and Spiritual Healing of Man by Dr. Joseph DeMay. I'll be reading from week 29, day 3. Then the Lord said to Moses, Behold, I will rain bread from heaven for you and the people. Exodus 16, verse 4. And then a layer of dew lifted there on the surface of the wilderness was a small round substance as fine as frost on the ground. And Moses said to them, This is the bread which the Lord has given you to eat. Exodus 16, 14 and 15. And the house of Israel called its name manna, and the taste of it was like wafers made with honey. Exodus 16:31. The children of Israel, 2 million strong, are marching from Egypt to Mount Sinai, and God initiates the 40-year miracle of manna, which literally means, what is this stuff? Prepared fresh 6 days a week, every morning for his children to feast on. What a God! Remember, this is occurring before the law, and the Israelites are the recipients of God's unmerited grace. But do you recall one of my little sayings from several weeks ago? If the sin debt has not been paid, grace is insufficient, ineffective. That is certainly the case here. Look at this response of the people now after the law and marching on to Canaan. So the children of Israel also wept again and said, Who will give us meat to eat? We remember the fish which we ate freely in Egypt, the cucumbers, the melons, the leeks, the onions, and the garlic. But now our whole being is dried up. There is nothing at all except this manna before our eyes. Numbers 11, 4 through 6. Wow. I may have a bit of an overactive imagination, but previously I had put some thought into what I said, what I would want to eat and drink for every meal if I were stranded on a desert island all by myself for years. The meal would be a ham and Swiss cheese sub with everything on it. This gives the requisite vegetables and fruit. Except onion. I know I'm alone. I just don't like onions. The drink would be Gatorade, G2. Glacier cherry, since I drink that pretty much exclusively now. And the dessert would be, this was tough, as I could have done better in the fruit department than a tomato on the sub, but I went with my heart. A Kit Kat bar, especially appealing since I would not have to share. And don't question the tomato is a fruit thing. It is a legitimate fruit, and also allows a comparison of knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge is knowing the tomato is a fruit. Wisdom is not putting it in your fruit salad. I honestly think I would never ever complain about this diet plan. And after rescue, I could star on the show My 600-Pound Life. But I bet the manna stuff was every bit as good. Yet the Israelites complained. They weren't thankful at all. And that's a big deal in God's eyes. In Romans chapter 1, Paul gives a vivid description of how human beings could turn their backs on God. This is a part of that process. Although they knew God, they did not glorify him as God, nor were thankful. Romans 1:21. That's what the pot of manna in the ark represented. Humankind's thankfulness. So we have the tablets of stone demonstrating humankind's inability to keep the rules and to be holy. The budding rod demonstrating humankind's defiance of God's authority and will, and the pot of manna demonstrating humankind's thankfulness or thanklessness. All these treasured items are hidden in the ark. Tomorrow we'll look at what overlies the ark, and that will reveal the most awesome thing to be thankful for this Thanksgiving season. It has everything to do with that golden mercy seat and those 2 cherubim, and it will come to life on Thanksgiving Day, which is why I had to make today's entry so long. Thanks for understanding, and don't miss tomorrow's.